My job at Disney is to make sure adults never have fun again. They call this the happiest place on earth. They don't see the rot beneath the paint. They don't see the sickness. I do. It's my job to see it. The sickness presents as a kind of regression, a shedding. Grown men and women come here to slough off the parts of themselves that weigh them down: a mortgage, a loveless marriage, a failing career. But for some, it goes deeper. They start shedding the physical burdens too. They become incomplete, hollow. I'm the one who makes them whole again. The tip came on a whisper of churro dust and desperation. A man, maybe 40, with the vacant, beaming eyes of a child who's never been told no. He was a severe case. The whisper said he was missing the essentials: a liver to process the bitterness of the world, a pancreas to regulate its sickening sweetness. He had carved them out, metaphorically at first, and then, in some way I don't need to understand, literally. He was living on pure, unadulterated fantasy, a diet that is toxic for a grown man. I tracked him for hours. Past the spinning teacups, their dizzying pastels a blur of nauseating cheer. He was easy to spot. He walked with a lightness that shouldn't be possible, unburdened by the dense, heavy organs of responsibility. I finally cornered him in the alley behind the Tomorrowland kitchens, where the saccharine smell of popcorn curdled with the stench of grease traps. He saw the purpose in my eyes and tried to run, but his body was too light, too flimsy. I pinned him against the brickwork. He didn't fight, just trembled, his novelty mouse ear hat falling to the sticky ground. "It's time," I said. My voice didn't echo. The park's relentless soundtrack of cheerful melodies swallowed it whole. I carried the replacements in a simple insulated bag. They were heavy, wet. They felt real, dense with the very adulthood he'd discarded. He whimpered as I pushed aside his novelty t-shirt. There was a strange hollowness to his side, a void that seemed to hum with emptiness. I didn't need a scalpel. I just pushed. I pressed the dense, burdensome weight of the organs into him, filling the void. He screamed. It wasn't a scream of pain. It was a scream of comprehension. I watched his eyes change. The childlike glaze shattered, replaced by the sudden, crushing understanding of a 401k, of property taxes, of a receding hairline, and a profound, gnawing loneliness. The weight of his new organs settled in his gut, and he collapsed, sobbing. Not the tantrum of a child, but the deep, ragged sobs of a man who has truly lost everything. It's all gray," he choked, looking at the vibrant colors of the park as if for the first time. I have to call my mother." He looked up at me, his face a mask of pleading. "Disney is more fun as an adult, though," he stammered, a desperate, pathetic lie. "You can appreciate the artistry more, the nostalgia." I leaned in, my shadow falling over him. I had to ask the question, the final turn of the key. "This feeling," I asked, my voice calm and low, "this sudden appreciation for artistry, is it genuine, or are you on drugs?" His eyes widened. He saw the trap instantly. The beautiful, perfect, two-pronged cage I had built just for him. If he said yes, if he admitted to being on something, he was just another common criminal. His newfound adulthood would begin in a jail cell, a place of hard edges and harsh fluorescent lights. Society would process him from there. But if he said no, if he claimed this bizarre, regressive behavior, this pathological need for fantasy, was his natural state, well, then he wasn't of sound mind. He was broken, unfit for the adult world he now inhabited. A different kind of institution waited for him, one with softer walls, but a lock just as strong. He stared at the pavement, his mind racing, the gears grinding with a rust they hadn't felt in years. He was trying to find a third door where there were only two. Finally, he looked at me, a flicker of defiance in his tear-filled eyes. "I'm not on drugs," I smiled. A real smile. The kind an adult feels when a difficult job is done right. "Then you're just crazy," I said, and made the call. I watched them lead him away, a man drowning in the reality I had given him. Another one brought back from the brink, another hollow filled. Weeks passed. I was walking the main promenade, scanning the crowds for the telltale signs of the sickness, and I saw him, a Mickey Mouse, one of the costume performers. But it was moving wrong. There was a stiffness in its gait, a slight hesitation with every cheerful wave. The cartoonish glee of the movements was underpinned by something heavy, something tired. As it passed, one of its white-gloved hands drifted unconsciously to its own right side, pressing gently, as if against a phantom ache. My heart hammered in my chest. I followed it to a cast numbers-only door. I waited. When the door opened, the oversized head came off first. It was him. His face was pale, his eyes were dull, but he was wearing a uniform. He'd found a loophole. He couldn't live in the fantasy, so he'd found a way to work there instead. A prisoner paid hourly to manufacture the happiness he'd lost. He was still in the park. He was still incomplete. But now, he was wearing a mask. He saw me. His eyes held no fear, no anger, just a vast, empty acceptance. And I smiled. I took down a Disney adult, and in his place, I had created something so much better. A perfect employee.